So this is where we got to. The website, if you've got everything right, will look something like that, and this is the codes to go with it. So you've got your CSS file here, your header and your footer. Now somehow or other in some copying and pasting, I think that part there disappeared for Safari, so put it back. You probably wouldn't have noticed it unless you're running Safari. I would never have noticed it unless I looked again and realised, because I use Firefox all the time these days. So anyway, put that in, get that right now before we start making some adjustments. Alright, so this is what we've got so far, and this is what it looks like. So we're going to make some changes. We're going to work on the putting some menu items up here and some of those footers that you had in the previous Hello World where we had the links to Twitter and Facebook. So that's what's going to happen next, and this is how we're going to do it. First things first, we'll go, that's what Flex 3 looks like now, and we're going to add a bit. So most of it's just copying and pasting. So the top, I had black there before, I've changed it to that now. The middle should be the same. The sides we haven't worked on yet, we'll do that later. We've added this for our menus, which I got from the old CSS file from Hello World, so that part needs to go in. Header, footer and a menu. Now the menu is a direct copy of header and footer if you have a look. Okay, so it looks exactly the same, except I've added a float into there, and I've put a float in here as well for our footer. If you haven't got those, put them in. Alright, and you'll see what happens when we do that. At the moment you think, oh well, I don't need that, everything's in the middle already. Well, yes it is, but once you start adding extra styles inside, things start to change. So just to make sure we get everything pretty much right, so copy those two down in here. They're exactly the same. As a matter of fact, my copying was so bad that I've actually done this again and I just noticed it. So here we go again. Down here it's the it's actually the second one, for some reason didn't paste. Alright, now I think we're right. Yeah, that looks pretty right. And now everything's there. Doesn't hurt to keep an eye on this stuff. I mean, everything's it's all exactly the same, except what brings it up, the different browsers just don't recognize gradient. They're all different. Gosh, one day they're all going to be the same surely. Standard syntax, yeah, that'd be a great idea. So they just need to sort that out. Alright, so there you got Flex 4. Now the HTML file looks like this. So if we go back to this one and just have a quick squiz at what's happening. At the moment we've got header and we've got footer. Everything else is in there. This is called Flex 3. It's now called Flex 4, and we've put this in. So that's what the header now looks like. It looks like that. So you can probably almost copy and paste that out of the last Hello World script as well, I would think. It must be pretty close. And the footer, pretty much the same again. Looks like this. So even though there's a lot of extra code, or a bit of extra code being put in, if you've got your other older Hello Worlds, like I think I've got it from back here, so I went and grabbed this stuff straight out of the old About from the previous, and some of the style I went and got as well, as you can see. So I'm not retyping anything very much, I'm just getting stuff from other places and putting it in there. Okay, so that's what you've got. You've got that, which I better save because I've added that extra bit with Safari, and you've got that, and then over here this is what happens. So there's your 4 links in the bottom, and here are your menus doing their thing. Alright, now we'll start working on, oh, and by the way, it's called Flex 4, so when I hit home I get an error, so which makes sense. So what I think I'll do that right now. I'm going to save this as, so that we're underway for the next lesson. I'm going to save this as, I don't think I've got it already. No, I don't. So I'm going to save this as home, and that will get us ready for the next lesson, and hopefully we'll see what happens. Yep, it works, but we'll still get mistakes here and the other ones as well. We went there down that track once before. Okay, so home's working. Oh, sorry, one extra little bit. I just put that in so we could distinguish. So let's go back and have another quick look. And I put H2 homepage in there for home.